Welcome, Find Your Fire Tribe. So good to be here with you again on another Find Your Fire Friday event. I am absolutely delighted to have with me today wellness coach and very good friend, Christine Francois, who's going to be sharing with us her excellent information about the importance of quality sleep to our well-being on all levels, and also then impart some strategies and tactics for assuring that we get the sleep that we need to be our best self and live our best lives. Christine Francois, so glad you're here. Thank you for giving us your attention. Welcome. Handing the baton over to you, Christine.
Wow, thank you so much, Wendy. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Wonderful. So folks, I am really honored to be given this opportunity on this amazing dynamic platform to share with you a little bit of what I knew about sleeping your way to better health. I was guilty for so long of not paying attention to my sleep. I thought that once you worked hard and you burned the midnight oil, how many of us have heard about burning the midnight oil? Hands up. Yes, that would be me too. Well, guess what? But it does not do our body good. And when we were children, our parents would say everything in moderation. But it's the one thing that I neglected in my corporate life. I worked hard. I was a corporate communications specialist for quite a few years. And of course, that was a very stressful time. In fact, my children used to say, if they ever saw me at 5 in the afternoon, they would say, "Mom, you mean you didn't burn up as the sun touched your skin?" Because they thought I was a vampire by now, right? Well, today we are going to talk about getting good sleep, and that had eluded me for quite some time until I started talking to a functional medicine practitioner, dear friend of mine, and she said to me some profound words. She said, after breathing, sleep is the most important thing that you will do for your life. So let's talk a little bit about some of the data behind sleep. We're going to talk a little bit. That is not supposed to be introductory, it's supposed to be introduction. But yeah, we're going to talk about some tactics, self-assessment, developing a plan, strategies that work, my top 6 tactics, and then some intelligent and targeted supplementation. Let's talk about a couple of bits of data that I found to be very eye-opening. The fact that as Caribbean people, many of us are of mixed race. But if we look at North America as a template for Black, white, and all of the other ethnicities, it struck me right here that Black people or people of color, as well as Pacific Islanders and Native Hawaiians, actually get the worst quality sleep in comparison to white people, Hispanics, and Asians. So it means that we need to be taking a deeper look at what some of our habits are, because we're definitely doing something wrong. So let's share a little bit some statistics. Almost half of all Americans say they feel sleepy during the day between 3 and 7. Is that you? Is that anyone on this call? I don't. 35.2% of all adults in the US report sleeping on average for less than 7 hours per night. Now, is that you? Are you doing 7 or more than 7 or 9? Wendy can always tell me what the conversations are on the streaming. And then anyone here who's saying, yes, I know about that. But can I tell you, that was me. That was me getting less than 7 hours sleep per night years ago. And then I took my life back. 42.6% of single parents sleep less than 7 hours per night. So if you have any friends, you need to be telling them that they really need to reconsider what their sleep hygiene is like. And this is compared to 32.7% of adults in two-parent home. You know, so much of our society has broken down. There's so many single moms out there, and they make up so much of the workplace. But here it is, they're also struggling on the sleep arena. And active duty service members, so that's for our military, are 34% more likely to report insufficient sleep than people with no history of military service. Let's talk about our women. Women have a lifetime risk of insomnia that is as much as 40% higher than that of men. Well, I can see how that's possible. We are the nurturers. We make sure that everything's happening with the kids, etc. We take care of family members, maybe our aging parents. So I can see that. That has also been my experience. A 10% increase in body weight can equate to a 6-fold rise in the risk for sleep apnea. Did you know that? Wow. 40%.
Excuse me. Would you like me to interrupt you with some of the comments as you go along, or wait till the end? I should have asked you that.
That's quite okay. Yeah, go ahead and share with me as we have this conversation.
We have Brenda on Facebook saying that she gets 3 to 4 hours of sleep a night. And I think somewhere around 3 p.m. she starts to crash. Brenda, I'm not sure if it was 3 p.m. Yes? Or 3 a.m., but 3 to 4 hours
3 p.m.
night, yeah.
Brenda, let's talk after this call because, yeah, we need to start putting your sleep cycle back in order. And the reality is that if you get regularly only 3 to 4 hours of sleep, you're going to do your entire system. Your complete system is going to end up you're going to have some serious problems. If you don't have it right now, and if you're not seeing some neurological signs, then this is definitely something you're going to have to pay close attention to. So Brenda, is Brenda right? Brenda,
and she said that she wakes up at 3 a.m. every morning and then crashes about 3 p.m. So I think Christine and you have to get very, very, very close, Brenda.
Yeah, absolutely. So Brenda, if you give Wendy your contact details, I'm going to reach out to you and we're going to have a conversation after this. We're going to set up a conversation. So additionally, 40% of people with insomnia are believed to also be affected by a mental health disorder. So you're looking at anxiety, panic attacks, depression, and the list goes on. Around 75% of adults with depression suffer from insomnia. Wow. In a normal sleep period, a person experiences 4 to 6 sleep cycles. Almost half of all Americans say they feel sleepy during the day between 3 and 7. Is that you, Brenda? 35.2% of all adults in the US report sleeping on average for less than 7 hours per night. What am I recommending? I'm recommending that if any of this sounds like you, we need to do a self-assessment. You need to determine why you need to make some changes, not now, but right now. For your longevity, if you've got children, that's important because children don't learn what you say, they learn what they see you doing. And so making sure that your family has a good sleep hygiene practice is something that you can bless your children, you can gift to your children. If you are not a parent, and if you are a single person, or if you are just, it's you and your husband or you and your partner, then this is also super important for your longevity. So what's your reason? What's your why? Why do you want to do this? Why would you want to make the change? Is it that you want to end up in a negative situation? And I'm not going to call the worst situations because I believe we can speak life over people. And that is why we're having this conversation today. Step 2, conduct a review of your current routine and your sleep habits. Determine how you would want to make small changes because drastic changes will just make it harder for you to stick to those changes. Just implement one small change at a time. And we're going to go through some of those tactics later on in this intimate conversation. Gradually do so, so you'll see the improvements and your health and well-being will sing to you. So what's the plan, Christine? What's the plan? Well, we've got to decide. Make today the day that you do more than watch this presentation. Make it the day that you decided to take action on a critical activity for your health and longevity. Every change begins with a decision. And so I encourage you to decide today. Prioritize your sleep. Let's talk strategies and some tactics that you can implement right now. Step one, if you live alone, this may be easier for you because you don't have anyone else to talk to and you can make all the changes and nobody to say, are you mad? But if you do have people in your life, like a partner, a spouse, and children, this is a good time to have a family meeting. Sit down, talk to them about what you've learned about sleep and its critical impact on your lives, and then make some decisions as a collective and talk about how you're going to make some of these changes and how it's going to impact other aspects of your life. Step two, if you are in a position and have a great relationship with your boss, talk to your boss. Is there a possibility to make some changes to your work schedule to facilitate your regular sleeping pattern? There's a possibility. Now, the next step is to set your schedule. So what I'm going to do is share with you my top 6 tactics for doing so. So planning is everything. This is not something you can do on a whim. It has to be structured. You may need to reorient your daily activities so that you don't feel stressed out about leaving something undone. What I do every day, and I will show you, is, where is it? Yeah, here it is. I have a list. Can you see this? I have a list that I make every night before I go to sleep because I want to get those thoughts out of my head. And so that helps me to sleep better because I know I've put everything on paper. So be clear about when you start winding down your day. And this is typically approximately 2 to 3 hours before you crawl into bed. Your bedroom should be your oasis. Seems obvious, but way too often we ignore the primary function of the bedroom. It's to facilitate a restful night's sleep. Call Wendy and let her help you feng shui your bedroom to create the right energy for sleep and rest.
Thank you.
Here are some tips.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Here are some tips that you can implement over time. Make sure you have a comfortable bed. That's really important. Dim your lights. Blackout curtains are a huge help. Make sure you've got a comfortable mattress and linens. It is said that lots of people, when they jump into their bed and they smell fresh linens, it just puts them in the mood to sleep. And make sure you've got storage for your devices. If you do, like me, work in your bedroom, make sure you've got storage for your devices away from your bed. So don't be sleeping with your laptop and your phone by the bed. Power down your devices. Easier said than done. I am very guilty of that. But I am getting better, believe me. However, it's recommended that we power down our devices at least 2 hours prior to going into bed. Why? Because we want our energy to come down, to slow down, and just to feel more relaxed. I have some friends who put on very soft music, relaxing music. Well, I don't know, for some people that might be jazz, but others it's very gentle melodic music, and that helps them wind down as they start powering everything down. Also, a warm bath can help us relax because our body temperature tends to drop after a warm bath, which can induce better sleep. I can tell you that I have a warm bath before I go to sleep, and that's very helpful. Have an early dinner, so no 9 p.m. dinners. Make sure that you get dinner somewhere between 6, 7, maybe 7:30. It's recommended that you do so 3 hours before bedtime. And here are some helpful foods that I found for you that you can incorporate in your meal to support a restful sleep, because they help you to sleep. Almonds are great. Turkey is delicious and wonderful to help you sleep. Chamomile tea, we all know. Kiwis, tart cherry juice, fatty fish, and that includes salmon, tuna, trout, and even mackerel, and walnuts. So if there are any questions if there aren't any questions at this point in time, do you have any questions for me as yet?
No, we have no more questions in the chat, Christine, but it would be
Okay.
possibly of interest to people to know why you'd suggest they store their devices away from their beds.
Oh, because of the magnetic the pulses. So you want to keep that away from the brain waves. It interacts with your brain waves and messes with it. So that's the reason why you want to keep it away. In fact, I recall there was a study done some time ago where they also linked those electromagnetic waves to some brain damage. So you really want to keep those far away from your bed. And if you can pack everything away at a little bit of a distance from you, that's going to be very helpful also in keeping you, to help you get some good rest. What also happens is, I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but when you have your phone close to your bed, even if you switch the phone off sometimes, you have messages coming in and you hear the pings. So there's that constant ping, ping, if it's Facebook or Messenger or whatever, and really that interrupts your sleep. So you really want to keep those as far away from you as possible. So one other aspect that supports sleep is intelligent supplementation. Now, I will say to you that full disclosure, I am a wellness partner with a company called Mare Global, and they are the mental wellness company. I have a 3-minute video that talks to you about a sleep product that is helping so very many people. And then we will be wrapping up, and I'll be happy to take more questions.
Every night in America and around the world, people struggle with sleep. People have trouble falling asleep, they have trouble staying asleep. When we wake up from a night of sleep, very often we're not feeling rejuvenated and recovered because we got a bad night of sleep, we had poor sleep quality. Sleep Plus from Amare is our answer to all of those problems. Right now, if you're having trouble sleeping, you have options such as pharmaceutical options, which might knock you out, but also have a long list of side effects. You have over-the-counter options, which are basically antihistamines that will knock you out, but might make you feel groggy when you wake up. And they also have side effects associated with them. If you want to look at natural options, you might think, oh, I'll try melatonin. There's a lot of melatonin options that are out there. But most people don't realize that melatonin is a synthetic hormone. And as you're taking that, you're teaching your body to not make its own melatonin. So you become dependent on this supplement. This supplement actually, melatonin, only works for about 50% of the people who try it. So if you're in that 50%, congratulations. Use melatonin on an irregular basis. Use it once a week, use it once a month, but don't use it chronically because your body will develop that tolerance to it. If you're in the group of people that melatonin doesn't work for, then you're out of luck, until now. With Sleep Plus, we're taking a completely different view of improving sleep and optimizing sleep and improving sleep quality. We use an ingredient called corngrass that provides a building block for your body's own synthesis of melatonin. So if you need more melatonin, your body can use this to make as much as it needs. That means that you don't wake up with the very common melatonin hangover the next morning because your body hasn't fully metabolized the melatonin that you took in supplement form. You only produce what you need. What that means for you is that you can take Sleep Plus 30 to 60 minutes before you go to bed, and our clinical data show you'll fall asleep faster, you'll stay asleep longer, and you'll spend more minutes in high quality sleep. Sleep Plus will improve overall sleep quality by about 40%. That's an astonishing amount. What it means is that you'll spend more time in REM sleep, which is good for brain rejuvenation, and you'll spend more time in deep sleep, which is good for body restoration. And you'll wake up, no matter how many hours of sleep you get, with good, vibrant energy. And that's really what we want from sleep. We want to be able to go to sleep, we want to be able to restore our body and our mind, and we want to be able to wake up ready for the challenges of the day. Sleep Plus literally is the only product on the market that works the way that it does and delivers the benefits that you're looking for, which is good quality sleep that makes you ready to face the day. Give Sleep Plus a try. I know you're going to like it.
And let's see, we go right. So that's about Sleep Plus. And so this brings me to the end of my presentation. It's been my pleasure sharing this information with you. So as we recap, just make sure to have those conversations with family, with your boss if you can. Make a decision, prioritize your sleep. Use those strategies to help you set the tone for a restful night's sleep. Make sure you implement the tactics. Make sure that you do all of those tactics 2 to 3 hours in advance of sleep. Make sure you have a warm, welcoming bedroom to welcome you when you get into bed. Make your bedroom your haven, your oasis. Remember, put those devices far away from your head and enjoy your sleep. Is it going to be easy to make this change initially? No. But if you persist and you take one step at a time, trust me, you are going to have better quality sleep. You're going to feel more rejuvenated when you get up, and you're going to be able to face the day positively, happier, and feeling a whole lot healthier. So that brings me to the end of my presentation, Wendy. I'm not hearing you, you're muted.
Yes, sorry about that. Yes, so I'm checking the Facebook chat and I don't see any new questions. But if there are questions in the Zoom room, I'd be glad to have you guys grab Christine while she's here and ask her your questions.
Hey, Wendy, it's Margaret.
Hi, Margaret.
Welcome, Margaret.
I was just wondering about how would you tackle a noisy environment? Because I mean, if you have really noisy neighbors, sure, I can implement the blackout curtains and earplugs and such, but sometimes if they're really loud, as in set level noise loud, what do you recommend?
Is it Margaret that they're loud every night?
Usually it's weekends.
Mm-hmm. So you would say that you're getting fairly restful sleep Monday to Friday?
For the most part, yes.
Mm-hmm. I believe that there are some solutions that you can, because you might look at, and you could talk to Wendy more about this, about soundproofing your bedroom.
Yeah.
So that may be a good solution for you, because, oh my goodness, wouldn't it be amazing that you don't hear them?
Definitely.
Right. So I would suggest that you investigate soundproofing your room. It may not be as expensive as you think. There are a number of solutions out there. Yes, blackout curtains can only handle the light and so on, but you really want to minimize. You may not be able to eliminate all noise, but certainly if you have a particular, I don't know how large your space is, but you could look at soundproofing it. It may not be as expensive as you think.
Margaret, I'd like to ask, how have you been dealing with the noise? Have you been taking sleep meds? How have you been handling it so far?
Well, so far I've tried using the active noise canceling headphones, which really don't do too much. I've had to resort to actually using white noise through the headphones to try and literally block out the noise. But then it means that all through the night, I'm hearing the white noise.
Yeah, and that's disturbing, and that's preventing you from having really the optimal sleep that your body requires. So Wendy, I mean, I'm sure you could maybe suggest to Margaret some options for soundproofing her room. I will actually do some research on it to Margaret and get back to you.
Okay, fine.
Margaret, how big is your room, if you don't mind us asking, in terms of,
Size, I'm just gonna have to guess maybe 10 by 12.
Okay. So not overly large for whatever you might want to do. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll definitely check on it for you, Margaret, and get back to you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Christine, on behalf of the Find Your Fire tribe, I'd like to thank you. That was excellent. And I of course will be posting the edited version in the chat as well in later today. So feel free then to jump in and communicate with anybody that's been, has questions or is trying to follow up with you. Okay, I am so happy that you were here today. Terry, Margaret, thank you for joining us. And for those of you who joined us live on Facebook, thank you. We didn't miss out on your questions. We are happy to have you with us.